in the cabbage.
Well, let's get it.
Test.
Yeah, we're live.
Welcome to In the Cabbage. This is crazy.
This is pretty bananas right now that we're actually doing this.
I'm Tommy Swaim, Andrew Whitt. Please subscribe, please listen, please download, like. And just a reminder, keep swinging. Heyo, welcome back to In the Cabbage. I'm your boy, Tommy Swaim. To my right or your left, Andrew Whitt.
Yeah.
Well, before we jumped on the mics, we were talking about SNL a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And you said you don't really, I always forget because you're not a huge TV or movie guy.
Not really, and especially SNL. Like you would think that would not be up my alley, right?
Right, because it's like, sketch comedy. I don't know if you're going to be a huge fan of that.
Who's the new guy that you were just showing me though? Because he's hilarious, and I love Key and Peele though. I would consider that like
Shane
sketch
Gillis.
Comedy. Yeah. You got to check out more of that guy, dude.
Shane Gillis was fired. Like 7 days after he got his essential dream job for doing an imitation of an Asian accent on a podcast.
He did it. He got fired because he did it on a podcast?
Yeah, it was on his podcast.
That's tough.
And he's a comedian and kind of pushed the line a little bit. I didn't say anything.
But as all good comedians do, though, they always ride that line.
Yeah, he pushed it, and it was right in the heart of cancel culture, and he took one for the team.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of his clips that you showed me, and they definitely, I don't know if they would say ride that line. They are definitely heavily straddling.
He heavily straddles the line.
Yeah, it's a little dangerous.
And to me, he just does it so funny, and I don't know. There's a special I'm gonna nerd out for a second. It's a special
go for it.
It's power this guy has.
It really is.
It's a way of him delivering it without it feeling like racially or insensitive. And I guess because he does stand-up comedy in New York. That's his home comedy club.
Okay.
So everyone's got like homes, right, where they go up and do reps. Like LA has the Comedy Store.
Yeah, it's almost like an open mic, right? Where they can kind of like practice their stuff.
You have to get on the list. Like you have to be approved.
Okay.
You have to do a test show or a test thing, and then they get you on the list and you're approved. So you can't just sign up.
Gotcha.
So him and then the Comedy Cellar, which is famous in New York, which I would say the best comedians are at right now.
Okay.
And then there's Texas Mothership, which is Joe Rogan's comedy club.
They have one in LA too, right?
Yeah, the Comedy Store.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so Comedy Store was the hot place for a hot minute.
Okay.
When Joe Rogan was in town.
I see.
That's where everyone was going.
Gotcha.
And then Joe Rogan left, went to Texas. He built his own comedy club, which people are now starting to flock a bit more to Texas. Mm-hmm. But most of the comedians, for whatever reason at the time, just came out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And I don't even watch like LA podcasts anymore, really.
Really? So this guy is kind of just like dominating the New York scene. He's coming up big, right?
Yeah, he's like the next big thing right now.
And he's got a special, you were saying he's got a special thing, like an aura about him, right? Like a delivery method.
Yeah, it's like he's in these comedy clubs in New York, like one of the most liberal places in the world, and he's able to like work in these crowds. And every comedian says he kills.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So it's weird to see someone work like that where you're like, he's definitely saying some like harsh stuff.
It's very like I would say like very like judgmental and very like what's the word I'm looking for here? Like it's a little bit racist. It's a little bit.
It's racial.
It's really rides that line.
Yeah,
but he's got a way of delivering it, and I think it's a lot of it is the look.
Yeah,
you could argue it's a lot of it is the look as well. He just has that look about him. He's kind of like he kind of looks like you. You kind of look like him a little bit.
He played D1 football at West Point.
Yeah.
And he hated it so much, he quit within like the first week.
Really?
Or first month he went there. Which is like technically dishonorable discharge. Because he's technically a part of the like military at that point.
Okay.
And so like West Point calls the parents and warns them like your kid's going to call and want to quit within the first month. Don't answer the phone. Don't let them home.
Damn. Okay.
And he called his dad and his mom. He's like, fuck this, I'm out. And they're like, no. And he's like, are you kidding me? Get your ass up here and get me out of here. And they came and got him.
Oh my God, that's kind of a crazy little story.
Yeah.
Dude.
So it's all in the stand-up special.
He packs a punch. Let me tell you, he's got a different way of like delivering jokes. He clearly has a different way of thinking and going about things.
Yeah.
Right. It takes some serious balls to get your dream job, then get fired 7 days later from SNL.
He jokes about all the time where it's like he's like, oh, the lowest point in my life. And like people are like, no, like I learned a lot from it. And he's like, no, it all sucked.
You're right. He's really, really blunt to the point, dude.
Right.
He says it how it is. And he's got a certain way of like kind of just laughing it off, and it's fucking hilarious.
He just delivers it.
So
Louis C.K. is like loves Shane Gillis.
Okay.
It's just interesting. But I'm feeling a little limber right now.
Yeah, I know you are, dude. You knocked out a little bit of like you really came to with your 21 days here, and you kicked it off in the right way, the right fashion here.
Right.
Or not even like literally 2 days after the last podcast that we recorded, because you're going to be out of town. We'll get to that in a little bit, but dude, you got right back into the saddle here. And you really did what you're talking about. You're walking the talk. Yeah,
I didn't want to do it at all.
No, but how good did you feel after you knocked out some yoga?
I was exhausted.
Yeah.
And I think it motivated me because I'm so unflexible. I also looked at the wrong YouTube video.
Okay, what did you look up, like advanced class?
I looked, I went.
Season 4.
I went like... yoga. I just Googled yoga, and I just wanted to see what I could start finding.
Right.
Found this dude who had like a beginner's yoga class. I like the look of his channel, whatever. I clicked on it, and he had like another YouTube video called like Yoga for Men. I'm like, oh,
okay.
Great. It was like episode 22.
I want to do yoga, and I'm a guy, so check.
I thought, I don't know, it'd be like more groin stretches or like whatever guys have issues with.
Sure.
Like whatever, maybe he did it for athletes. He looked pretty athletic himself. And soon I come to realize it's not yoga for men. It's read as like yoga for men.
No way, dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he meant it like, this is going to fucking suck. And within the first 5 or 7 minutes, I'm like, oh, this is a workout. Like he's doing yoga push-ups. Which are like really fast.
That's tough.
Really fast, like you're putting all the weight on your like wrist and you're moving them forward, warming them up.
Right.
You're staying on your toes and you're moving back into your feet, and then you're doing a push-up.
See, this is all the shit that you just never ever train, and like it's so difficult just to do if you're already in shape.
It felt, but like so within 10 minutes, it was still his warm-up, and I'm like sweating pretty good.
Of course.
And he turns it up. He's going, and it's like the flow of which he's going to these motions.
Right. They're very athletic.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah.
Super strong. He's like doing handstands. It's like a great time to do a handstand if you want. And by like, it was a 35-minute video. And by minute 18, I was done.
You just called it quits?
No, I didn't.
Okay. That a kid.
I said, okay, clearly I can't do what they're doing.
Right.
So everything he's standing or doing difficult, I would do on my knees.
Okay.
So the yoga push-ups I did on my knees.
There you go.
I took like a little load off of it. And then also if I felt like I needed a break from the craziness that he was throwing out,
right,
I would just stretch.
Great.
So I just imitate something he was kind of doing and just kind of
follow along.
Like Warrior 2 when he was doing something crazy.
Right. Then you just hop in a little groin stretch or something like that. Yeah.
And so I was like 3 more minutes, got to 21. Like, all right, like I should just stop now. I kind of look, I take a little break. I text you or something. And then I look at Madison. She's still in the shower. I'm like, well, what would I do anyways?
We'll just sit on the couch, just kind of hang out.
Play another 3 minutes. I'm like, all right, 24.
Right.
Same thing kind of happened. And then I look again, I'm at 28. And the video's like 32 minutes.
You're like, I'm there.
Yeah, I'm just going to go.
Yeah.
And so I did it.
Awesome, buddy, dude. That's fantastic. I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things. It's fun to do. It's very, very challenging because we never do anything like that.
It helped my ankle out immensely.
Love that. You probably just feel, every time that I have finished and do yoga, and I would love to get back into it with you, and I said I would. So I knocked out a class last Thursday. I took a yoga class actually in college. Like that was part of my like part of like a full on semester class where I learned all these poses and names and blah blah blah. But I just really remember how much I enjoyed it, how like in tune you can actually be with your body.
Mm-hmm.
And in the best and the worst way, knowing like, yo, like this shit is tight and it does not feel good. Let's focus more on that. It gets you like into like a rhythm.
Really, really understanding. Like I did it outside.
Love that. It was like perfect weather, 74
right. It was
today.
like sun setting. I already had dinner.
And it just like helps out your mental, your body, knowing where you're at, feels you very in the moment, relaxed, and also just makes you feel overall better because you have a nagging ankle injury, you know. Like
I think I'm pretty sure I have a bone bruise on this ankle.
That's tough.
Because I twisted it really bad.
Yeah, and you redid it, right?
And then I redid it right before your wedding. Right before we went to play golf, I absolutely just snapped it.
He was like, we were packing up in the car like the morning of. And
right.
Like, I just broke my ankle. Like, I'm not good.
Right. Like, I'm in a lot of pain. And I ended up being like somewhat fine for the weekend.
Yeah, you shook it off just like those Gumby ankles always do.
Dude. But it's like that's part of the reason why I want to do yoga. Like, I'm twisting my ankle a lot.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. Like, I could tell, like, sometimes I lose balance on certain things. Well, I have also a ruptured eardrum.
Right. And that does not help whatsoever.
With the balance at all. So I'm like, okay, I need to like stretch.
And by the way, like that's not uncommon. Like a clogged or like a ruptured eardrum, that's where you're in tune, your balance, like your equilibrium lies. So I'm just I needed to explain that real quick because you've told me a million times, but maybe it's not a very common thing for people to have broken eardrums, like all, you know?
Yeah, I'm missing 80% of my eardrum, my right eardrum.
It's crazy. So like if you have a pressure issue and you have sinus problems as you do as well, like it totally throws off your equilibrium of like balance and how to stand and all that kind of stuff. So I feel like yoga is a good way to kind of bring some of that back.
Right. It's not going to fix the issue, but at this point, it's
going to combat it, right? It's going to make it better.
Right. And then, like I'm back on not eating past 9. Haven't done that.
Perfect.
So it's just, last night I slept extremely well. I woke up and I wasn't, sore. I'm finding myself sore. Like I used to never get sore, like for weirdly, unless I was lifting. If I'm lifting, then I'm sore. But for like normal, like everyday stuff, I don't really wake up and like, oh, my body aches.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't. But now I do.
Oh, I was going to say I do now for sure. I felt that in the last couple years now.
Yeah, like I very rarely have I woken up and been like, ooh, my body is just naturally sore.
Like I'm rested.
Right.
Like, yeah, no, I always wake up, I'm stiff, something's going on. I'm like, ooh, I got to work this thing out today. Like this is a rough life, man. Like what the hell?
Yeah, it's so funny.
So overrated when you're waking up at the age of 19. And you're like, you just went out for a night of like, 18 drinks. You're just crushing them.
Right.
And then you wake up and you're feeling like you're hungover, but you're waking up and everything is feeling like, oh, I feel good. I'm all right. Like my head's just pounding.
Right.
And like, if I did that now, it would be crippled. it would take me about an hour to get out of bed and muster the strength. Right.
Dude, you're back alone. I don't understand how we got to get that.
We gotta get that thing figured out, dude. It's better. It's honestly like because of the yoga, and I committed back to rolling out and stretching.
Right, but you also
that for
told me the back was tight right before the scramble.
It was a little tight, I know, and I rolled out and stretched the night before. I probably slept funny, honestly, dude. Like literally, that's just what it takes these days. Like I wake up and I got a crick in my neck. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah, my neck was like cricked on the putting thing too. And I just, when I was stretching, like you said, you like learn where you're like, oh, my neck's been tight recently. And I haven't I've kind of ignored it, but for whatever reason, doing that, like just.
It gets you, I think a lot of it is like the focus in which you have to like put into the class. Mm-hmm. It like makes you like really almost highlight the areas. You're like, wow, I need to like give some, some focus to this area.
Yeah. So I got to do it. I'm going to do it in Oregon, which I'm excited about.
Yeah, dude, you're going to be heading out of here, in a couple days here? That's the whole reason why we hopped over here on a little Wednesday night, get a little second session for the week because,
your boy's gone.
Daddy's going to be out of town for a hot minute.
Yeah, I'm going to Oregon. We're going to Shuttle Lodge. I always say it wrong, so it's probably Subtle or Shuttle. It's probably Subtle Lodge.
Shadow?
Nope, not Shadow. I know that for a fact.
Okay.
And we're going to call it Subtle Lodge.
Okay.
Subtle Lodge. That's definitely what it is. And it's like glamping.
It's your story and sticking to it. Got it.
They have like, the in-laws always treat us nice. They get us all like the family, like a big cabin.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like beds and bathroom. There's sometimes a kitchen. It's like, and then it's also like walking distance to this like main cabin, which is kind of like a hotel.
Okay.
It's definitely a hotel. They have like a check-in, stuff like that.
Right.
They have other smaller rooms there. And they have an unreal bar.
Fire.
With craft cocktails.
Fire.
They have an amazing chef there.
So this sounds like the glamping trip of a lifetime.
Right. So you're on like your own personal little like beautiful lake out there. They also have this thing called the Boathouse where they have like really good burgers, fun cocktails. And the main attraction for Daddy,
of course, lay it on us here.
Swirl ice cream.
I thought you were going to say golf, but swirl ice cream is real nice.
The Boathouse, that's the chocolate and vanilla swirl yogurt.
Yeah, that always seems to hit, right?
Oh, they don't give you any toppings with it. They just hand it to you, and I shit you not. It's a magical experience. I bought. Because last time we went, there was a heat wave that came through.
Oh, yeah. Last year, you were not a happy camper
103, no AC.
Yikes.
Like 101, no AC.
So you there's no way you can pry yourself away from the ice cream machine.
No, and also the worst part about it is it didn't cool off at night.
Yeah, it was also a weird heat wave because it was like humid, right? Like it was like
so it'd still be like 80, 68. We're like a little hot and humid.
Yeah.
And so you're like, this isn't comfortable.
This is not. Wait, I thought it was warmer than that. I thought it was in the mid 70s.
It could have been too. I was lowballing it not to sound like too extreme.
No. I said 82.
Yeah, it was like 75 at night. 72, 75.
I remember looking at the weather being like, what the hell is going on in Oregon right now? Because it's beautiful down here in SoCal. It's like 84, 87.
It's beautiful. But Oregon was just on fire. This time.
The low was not very low.
Yeah,
I remember looking at that.
This low is like 40, high of like 81.
Yeah, and that's beautiful.
You still want it a little hot. Like, so if you can get like mid 80s, but have it drop to like whatever.
At least it's below 65, 68.
It's like 45, 65 at night.
Yeah.
But the other thing I'm really excited about, we do excursions and stuff like that. But we're doing, me and the father-in-law are going to go play golf.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome, dude.
And the golf out there is really, really fun. There's a little track we play out there. It's one like course redesign of the year in Oregon in like 2016. Very nice course. One of the best I've played.
Yeah, you got a chance to play like 9 holes, was it? Or 12 holes?
I played 18.
Like that?
They have 2 courses. They have Big Meadow and Black Butte. Like something like Woods or something. The other one is. Both of them were rated at one point. Both rated in public tracks in Oregon, but like both have like national ratings, and like public tracks. And played 18. And after the first 18, everyone was done. I said, not I.
Right, and you charged it.
I went for the other 18 because I knew it was going to be the same day. They were going to go back and do nothing. I didn't want to go sit on the lake again.
Yeah, and you also just didn't want to sit in like 98-degree weather. Like, let's drive around in a cart and like hang out in the shade and play some golf.
Right. So I went out there, charged it myself. I got there. No one was before me.
Yeah, it was wide open, you were telling me.
No one was behind me.
Yeah.
And I flew through 9 through 7 holes in maybe like an hour.
It was really nice. You're taking your time, playing by yourself. You had a cart.
Playing well. I think I went like 7 and I was like 4 over or something.
Something like that. Yeah, you're playing pretty well.
And then I copped to somebody on 8 and then it was dead slow. Like 8, 9, 10. It took me like almost another 45 to an hour. They were hammered.
Right.
They all sucked at golf. It was taking forever.
Sure, and at that point, that's when you ended up reeling it back in. You're like, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah, the front 9 was pretty magical. The back 9 looked a lot of the same. Of like the course earlier, which is really heavily tree lined. This one was on like a meadow.
Wow, that's really cool.
And then the back 9 looked like it was in the woods. But
so, are you going back and playing those 2?
I'm just gonna play one.
You're gonna play
the glazed meadow, which is like big meadow.
Is that the one that you ended up stopping halfway? With? Okay, nice.
So I didn't finish the back 9.
Okay, cool.
And my father-in-law never played the course at all.
Right. So that'll be perfect for the two of you. You get to finish what you didn't, what you didn't quite finish, and then Vavrock gets to check out the other course too.
Right.
So, I'm really excited for you to check that out again because you told me it was, one of your top courses. We've like discussed a few top courses on the pod before. And this is the one that definitely sneaks on in there, like the 4 slot. You know?
4 or 5 for me. It depends on how I'm feeling. I think it's just, I'll send you more videos because I won't be so hot and I won't be so miserable this course. It just is so unique. You feel like you're like on hole 3, you're like driving next to a pond. It's like lily pads. It's like a meadow. Mm-hmm. Like tall weeds, like grass everywhere. And on the green, there's like hundreds of tiny frogs.
So cool.
And you're like, what is going on? And you get there, and they all kind of like hop out your way. You kind of like brush your line. And I put like
so cool, dude.
Like through a bunch of frogs.
That's kind of epic. I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, and I pick it up. I'm like, wow, this is like pretty parrot or something.
It's one of those places in golf courses, and we've kind of stressed it before, but it's a place where golf doesn't really seem like it actually works or fits or should be there.
Right.
It's like golf on the beach. It's like golf in the middle of a forest. It's like golf in the middle of like a meadowy area where there's like wildlife all over the place.
Yeah, golf should be played in like
that's where it feels
places.
That's where it feels most special.
Right. On the beach is obviously number 1. The natural sand you get from the beaches makes the best golf courses.
It's really cool.
It's just like proven. Woods golf is awesome. You get a lot more sounds. The audio game is turned way up.
Yeah, it's like that huge echo and the sounds all over the place,
which makes it sound epic and fun and extremely difficult. We kind of talked about like what our favorites were. Mm-hmm. I mean, I love desert golf for the sheer willpower. Like it human willpower just to make a golf course.
Oh yeah,
that good.
And how crazy is that? You're like, let's move a ton of sand and soil onto like just nothing,
rocks,
right? And you're just like, let's make a course, and there's water and like, dude, it's beautiful. And again, it's like an oasis type setting.
Yeah, it's pretty special. You played some golf today. How'd you shoot today, bud?
Yeah, dude, I did pretty good. There was nothing that was spectacular with my game.
Okay.
The driving was really solid again. I feel like I might have found something here in the last like couple months since I've been playing.
Wow. That's really special for you.
I think the driving I'm getting my start line much, much more online with like, how I'm intending it to, and it's curving far less left and right.
Yeah, you didn't have any huge misses when we played.
I didn't like miss. Like sometimes I have a huge miss, like of 70, 80 yards offline. Like obviously that's like out of bounds on most courses, but it just goes into like the next hole over through the fairway and in the rough. Like I never really have that. I'm always in the line of our like tree line and rough. So I feel like the driving was pretty solid. Iron game, wedge play, again, like pretty solid. Didn't hit a ton of greens, but like never really missed by much. So like, I can't really be mad about that. 140 out.
Nice.
Missing to like 35 feet, 40 feet. Not bad. Like I'm going to take it. Just wasn't quite crispy. And then the putter was really nice today, dude.
Thank God.
The putter, I had my doubts, and I was like, you had to talk me off a ledge with this thing.
It's hard because I was there. Like when you came over, it's like I might even go back to get my putter like retouched up.
Yeah.
I'm in my head about it right now, but it was so funny. Anyways, I just got it. You picked it up, and you're like, dude, it's like I'm having a hard time keeping it on the line. Is what you said when you picked my putter up.
Yeah.
And I was like repping it out, and I've like kind of figured it out, but I do feel like I have a harder time for whatever reason, keeping this thing online. I don't know if it's because like the shaft, maybe it is too long. Maybe I changed my putting stroke. I just want to go back and have him assess.
Yeah.
Maybe he needs to bend it less. I don't know. Or he looks at me and he's like, you're fucking crazy. It's fine. Which is
right. And then you're like, great. I just needed that confirmation.
I just needed to get that out of my head. But you came up and you were like, you know, ever since like I had to go through that moment where I'm like, this putter, I can't putt with it. Like, and then I had to mentally be like, dude, there's no going back. Even if you suck with this putter, you'll figure it out.
No, you had to talk me off the ledge because I was about ready to ditch this thing. And it's literally not for a fact of I just putt really bad with it, and I was just not used to doing that ever. And I thought I was just going to get this putter, and it was going to be like a pure replacement, and then I would just putt a little bit better from there. You know,
right?
And that's not the case. You get a new tool in your hand; it's a little bit different. So
it's always just hard. It's being a good warning to new players,
for sure.
Like you're gonna get fitted for clubs, and then it's gonna be your swing. You had a good thought, which is so funny. It's like don't change your swing because those clubs are made for your swing.
Yes, exactly, and I think it takes a slight adjustment period because you're going to change maybe the length, the lie. You know, maybe the loft a little bit. Something's going to feel a little bit different. You're not going to have the same shafts. You're not going to have the same swing weights, club weights, or grips. Like everything's different, right? And so maybe you're so used to playing with something for 5 or 6 years, maybe even longer. In my case, I had the same putter for like 15 years, and you just like learned how to like deal with whatever you had, right? And kind of manage those misses. And then you get something that actually fits, and you are trying to fight something that's no longer there. Right. And so you're kind of like trying to figure out like, well, how should I be doing this? And it's like, well, actually everything was made for you. So just keep doing what you're kind of doing. And so I don't know why I didn't think about that in the first place, but you literally had to tell me that. And like, dude, what are you doing? Like you're putting too much weight here. You're thinking about your high line too much. Just literally stand over it, grab it, hit a putt like you normally do. And I'm like, okay. And it's been like the little magical touch. And then I've also gotten a decent amount more reps with it too. Yeah,
we came over here, we rolled it on the mat. It's really exciting to hear the putters finally coming together because when your new putter does come together, which has like been by far my favorite thing to fit was my putter, you really feel like you have like an extra little, you get excited to take it out of the bag, you get excited to get it in your hand.
Oh yeah.
So I get it. It's an exciting thing.
I think after this past weekend with a 2-man scramble, I was still like, finding a decent groove with it, but I wasn't quite there. The round today, I felt like I was there with it. Kind of where like the same, exactly. Like I roll it a lot of 20-foot putts, like lipping out. I lipped out like 2 or 3 times from like 15, 18, 20
That's
feet,
exciting.
burning it by the edge and like, going past the hole like a foot or foot and a half, like perfect speed every single time.
Ooh,
so
you gotta love those really good putts.
And like they all had a lot of chances to go in. So, and I drained a lot of like 3 to 5 footers again.
Perfect.
So, again, just a nice strength. I think I finished like 7 over through 15. We had to hop out there because it was the summer solstice today.
Yeah, I watched the abandoned dunes people go off this morning.
I saw that as well. Super
and it was
cool on Instagram.
Tough to watch. And I think, you know what? I'm glad we didn't go because I'm not in the shape I would want to be in.
It would be a brutal day out there.
Yeah, like we're gonna need to buy like some really nice walk shoes. So anyone who doesn't know, Band Dunes is a set of golf courses, multiple nationally ranked and best golf courses in the United States.
Link style golf on the coast in Oregon. Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of remote to get there, but it's a huge facility. It's like Pinehurst. It's like you stay there, all you do is golf. It's the best golf in the world, and you come home. They have one day a year, I guess, like in Oregon. I don't know. The sun must last forever up there.
It does because it's more north. Right. So I think sunset tonight was like 8:20 or something like that, or 8:15. I'm pretty sure sunrise would be about 45 minutes earlier, and the sun would set about 45 minutes later.
Yeah, so they tee off at like 5 a.m. and they play 4 courses, 4 full 18s walking. And they get gift baskets. It's a fun thing to do. It's quite a bit of money.
But you also need to put your name in a lottery.
Yeah, you just need to sign up. Yeah, you just need to hit the time.
But there is a wait list, though, right? I thought you told me.
A wait list so much as...
You got to just be on your game.
Yeah, you gotta be like you're on a wait list to get an email confirmation to like not email confirmation, like an email saying sign up, and then right when it opens, you just sign up.
Got it.
Which I find more fair because I don't trust the lottery system. I'd rather just be lucky. And I think if you're on it, you get in.
Gotcha.
Every year it's getting bigger and bigger, and at some point they're just going to sell a day out, and like there'll be like 100-something people.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can just shotgun start 100 different people and get them through a round, no problem.
Right. It's just a really cool concept.
We got 4 caddies probably too when we do it.
No, I did see them walk off with caddies as well. I don't know what it would run us, but it's funny. I posed the question in the office today, and I was like, "What is a realistic bucket list item that you want to like cross off in like the next 3 to 5 years? Realistically, and that's what I told everyone today in the office. I
think it's super realistic. It's expensive. If you wanted to do it right, like first class all the way, you probably could spend like $8,000, $10,000, no problem.
I don't know. Again, I don't know how much. Right, like the flight, and then like you got to factor on like the food and all that kind of, and the golf. I don't know what all that is.
That's first class. First class. I'm talking if we do it.
I think it could be $4 or $5 grand.
Yeah, if we do it, I can get it under 5.
Yeah, and so that was my realistic.
Yeah.
Bucket list item would be to go play Bandon Dunes but just play 4 rounds in one day, and it would be like a better soon because it might not ever type situation.
I don't know if I want to do that. There's people who do it like 55, 60 out there.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to feel at 55, 60 because our body already kind of feels a little rough at times.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like we might need to just do it at that time. But I thought we're going to have to throw you with like a hot patch on your back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to rub you down with some CBD lotion.
A couple pairs of shoes.
Like we need to do a couple pairs of shoes, new socks, new underwear for Papa.
Yeah. Baby wipes for sure.
Baby wipes for sure.
Baby powder for the feet.
Between 18 holes, you do stop, and they have like you can
take a little rest stop.
Your stuff. You get like a little like snack or whatever, but you put your new shoes on. It's not a huge break. It's like 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's not much. It's literally like hey, let's recoup. Let's throw down some water, change the shoes, maybe throw on a new shirt, and it's time to rock and roll. Yeah,
and then the guys come up and they give you the guys pick you up on the 18th hole in the golf cart, and they bring you your number 1 hole.
Yeah.
So it's it's on the list for us, for sure.
So that would be really cool. Do you have a other like bucket list type item, like something like that?
2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I said anywhere from, you don't want to go more than 5 years. That's kind of what I said. Like, it's more of a money thing. Like, it's got to be semi-affordable, right? That's what I kind of
I can't say like Pebble Beach and Spyglass. Like, that's not.
You could make that. That's a good $4 grand.
Yeah, but like that's not the way you would want to do it. You want a caddy. You're gonna want.
Spyglass is like $550 for a round. Pebble's like $650 for a round.
Yeah, it just wouldn't be.
That's like $3 grand.
Yeah, it's just not on my list.
Okay,
it'd be way down there for me.
Okay,
just because I want more cash. I want to do it like probably the wives are gonna want to come.
Okay, so what is your one? Anywhere from like that 5-year-ish range. Do you have one? I mean, I'm throwing you on the spot, but
no, I love it. Let me tootle around a little bit with this. Florida, would be one for me. Texas, I guess, because I know where we can stay.
I would love to go to Texas. That'd be really fun to check out just like some food. Would love to check out some like Texas barbecue. I mean, we love barbecue. So that'd be fun. That'd be good.
Barbecue is like one of our favorite foods to get when we're playing.
Oh yeah, that's our thing. Love that.
We did Arizona.
What about Pinehurst? I know it's like that's stretching the budget, but would that be in the ballpark?
For sure, if we can figure it out. I don't know if we can get that within the navigational planes there.
Yeah, but
we might
5
be
years.
Able to shot. There's a resort I've been thinking about. I can't remember the name, like the area of golf.
Do you know where it's located?
Probably like South Carolina might be another good trip. They have some really cool golf course, like Hilton Head's out there. They got like a lot of like tournament golf that you can kind of play. But yeah, I'm gonna throw my final answer out there. I'm gonna say Florida.
Okay, like it. I don't like it. I love it, actually. Florida is fantastic. And, you showed me this new series on YouTube called Strapped. And they showed us, they did an episode on Tallahassee, and I was in Florida.
Yeah.
And so that's in like the middle of Florida. Super cool. Very, very cheap golf. So you can do it very affordably. You can pop around to a bunch of places because Florida, it's not that big. And then you can hit up, it's big depending on like where, but if you go like kind of like in a main city, like to Miami or something like that, you can like jet more like, towards like central Florida and like play some more golf, make it cheaper, but then you're also kind of getting a little bit of back and forth.
You probably, like you can get to Orlando to Miami and South Beach in one day. Mm-hmm. So like 4 hours or something like that.
Or just hop on a quick 40-minute flight.
Ooh, like the 40-minute flights.
Yeah.
I was also just, kind of hanging out at work today, and we watched some trade talks today go down. And I don't know what's up with the NBA. I feel like some teams are giving away players, like the Bradley Beal thing we just recently talked about.
Yeah, dude, that was actually insane because I would classify Bradley Beal as a really, really top-end shooting guard.
And like Washington just kind of gave him away for like nothing.
It's like, what? What just happened right there?
Right. And then today, more trades came out, and Boston traded Marcus Smart to who they trade him to again? The Grizzlies.
Yes,
because the Grizzlies gave
a first rounder this year, a first rounder next year, and Kristaps Porzingis.
Yeah, the Grizzlies gave the Wizards something, and then the Wizards gave Porzingis.
Yeah, it was a three-way trade. Right. I don't remember exactly.
I don't even know what
the third team was doing in there because all I saw was trade rape between the two franchises of the Boston Celtics and the Grizzlies. I don't know what is going on. And it's no disrespect to Marcus Smart because I respect what he does.
Right.
But like Kristaps Porzingis is just as good, I would say. And as much as an asset as Marcus Smart could potentially be.
I mean, yeah. I think Marcus Smart, it's hard to part ways with him, but you don't need...
Let's go get a 7-footer that can drain threes and like can grab some boards for us.
Right. Like absolutely fitting the Jokic strategy, which is what we kind of talked about, is that everyone's going big. Like a big man who can shoot and play a little offense is the number one asset right now in the NBA, and they just snagged one.
And they got 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, it's a really great trade. Why can't the Lakers never going to pull off this magic anymore? I feel like we constantly give up like an arm and a leg for players, and then when they get to the Lakers, they shit the bed. Like, we would never get Bradley Beal for like some shoelaces and a couple pennies. We'd have to give up like Austin Reeves, Malik Beasley. We'd have to give up Mo Bamba. We'd have to give up
we have to give up our 2027 first-round picks.
2 of them.
We don't got any more of them.
We have to give and we have to fight for Bradley Beal. And Bradley Beal comes to the Lakers and he sucks and he hates it and he leaves and he balls out somewhere else. I don't know what's up with it. I did hear a trade rumor that Mo Bamba, Malik Beasley, and they said a first-rounder this year, which would be our 13th pick, which I don't want to give up.
For who, though?
We get Miles
Turner.
We
have a 13th pick?
Or 17th.
I thought we were way lower.
No, I think we have a 17th pick.
Did we get someone else's first round?
I think we kept one because we didn't get in last with the Pelicans.
It's based on where you stand in the regular season?
Yeah, it was like if we lost something, we get another first rounder, we'd have to give up to the Pelicans or something.
Okay, gotcha.
So we had to win and get into the playoffs to avoid that. Mm-hmm. And so whatever, maybe it's something, or they gave up that pick or more players for Miles Turner and Buddy Hield.
I love Buddy.
Buddy and Miles would be great.
I don't know Miles.
Miles Turner?
Gonna be real honest with you right now. Okay. Yeah, I don't know Miles Turner. And I barely know Buddy.
Buddy Hield was an unreal 3-point shooter.
Okay.
3-and-D guy through and through.
I knew that.
Pure shooter.
Got it. Is he tall-ish?
He's a good-ish size.
6'7"?
No.
6'4"?
Like 6'6", 6'5".
Okay.
And then Miles Turner he's like an all-star.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Shows you how much I'm following the game right now.
He
he
plays
from?
for the Pacers.
That's exactly why I didn't see him.
Yeah, they were both on the Pacers.
I don't really tune in to basketball during the regular season. It's all playoff basketball for your boy over here.
And the only time I ever watch them is when I'm on the Laker basketball and they play the Lakers, which isn't much.
Well, I really hope that goes through. I feel like that's a very good trade
for D'Angelo Russell, Mo Bamba, and
D'Lo.
Yeah. I don't mind getting rid of D'Lo.
Yeah, I don't mind that
because you can throw Austin Reeves as a point guard.
Yeah,
Austin Reeves can learn point guard.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I think that's solid.
You know, Austin Reeves, Buddy Hield, Miles Turner.
Is Miles Turner like a small forward?
Yeah,
I love that.
He's a small forward / like power forward.
We have a lot of those now, though.
Right, but you'd be giving up like Mo Bamba, D'Angelo, Emily.
Yeah,
Beasley.
but then you have Rui.
That's fine. Rui's coming off the bench.
And you have LeBron.
LeBron would be starting.
Okay. Right.
And then you have Rui coming in for Miles or LeBron.
Okay.
Austin Reeves would be starting. And then you keep Schroeder. He'd be playing 2.
Okay.
And you have Max Christie, sophomore year, who'd be great.
He actually, I don't think a lot of people are actually talking about him. And I thought he should have gotten a look at some point.
I thought so too, because he shoots very well.
He's
very athletic,
and he is very athletic, and he's also pretty big. Isn't he like 6'8" or 9?
He's like a bigger looking point guard for sure. When I see him on the court, he's not small.
He stands out.
Yeah,
athletically,
that is true. Like he's very much like off the ball. Very athletic. Defensive, he's
kind of
like
reminds me like a lanky, like almost like a Wiggins type player almost.
I could see, hopefully he has that ceiling, but I do see that like asset in him. Like he does a lot of good stuff like that. His defense isn't there yet. I thought it was fine. I mean, like
he's a good offensive player too. Anyways, I thought he should have like definitely gotten some more looks, but it would be really interesting to see where that trade goes.
Right.
We'll love to see that.
Scott, LeBron James is 2-man, not LeBron James, Michael Jordan's 2-man back in the day. Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen's son.
Wait, what?
We have Scottie Pippen's son on
He's
the
on the
Lakers.
team right now?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
And he's good too.
Great.
So we have
Let's get these young bucks some reps, dude.
He kind of was like played some minutes when we were in the really bad part of our season, then went to the D League and came back up and just kind of sat on the bench. But yeah, keeping on the sports theme here, we watched a couple good docs, you and I, on one of our late night hangouts, and one of them being the Conor McGregor. I do want to preface this. We watched this before the rape allegations came out, when he knocked out a mascot. I'm not up to date on his current allegations. I don't know if he's done it or not. But we're just going to talk about what he portrayed.
We're going to strictly talk about the documentary that he put on.
Right.
This is his documentary. So this is obviously maybe a little bit biased, maybe a little bit like obviously in his favor if he's making it for himself.
Totally.
But we're going to focus on that because that obviously we want to share and talk about something that's sports related and it's, essentially like a mindset and like what we can
very much in the Cabbage stuff.
Very much like what we can take away from the documentary itself and releasing all the other overhanging stuff that Conor McGregor may bring.
Yeah, it's always a discussion too. Can you separate the art from the artist?
Yeah.
Like I know it's sports, but can you separate like what the athlete has done off the court to what he is on the court? It's very interesting. It's hard to do that for me personally most of the time. But the documentary just hit me at a point where it kind of helped me change my mindset a little bit. And
I think this
started me on my health journey.
Yeah, exactly. This definitely kickstarted the whole thing for you.
Yeah, it really did. It was just
because you came to me right around like 5-ish weeks ago when the documentary came out, maybe 4 weeks. Right, which would be around that 4-week, 5-week like position where you kind of decided you want to do your 20-day journeys.
Right.
And you came to me like, yeah, no, this documentary kind of like reframed the way I thought I need to go about things.
Yeah, it made me feel like Connor, like there's clips of Connor talking about himself when he's like has nothing with nobody and just like, yeah, I'm gonna be a UFC fighter. I'm not gonna be a tradesman. Everyone's like, yeah, right. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he was training to be like a carpenter, right?
And
or like a blacksmith.
Something like that, where it wasn't even close to fighting. They didn't fight growing up besides like street fights and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And this is like in a small town in Ireland.
Yeah, like nothing, nobody.
Or Scotland. Scotland?
In Ireland.
Ireland? Oh, yeah, Ireland. Okay.
Like with nothing and nobody. And just like wills his way to where he's currently at. Like really manifesting and just like, no, I'm going to be a UFC fighter and I'm going to be like one of the best to ever do it. And the way Connor's always portrayed to me, like I'm not a huge Connor fan. Like I wasn't a Connor fan going into this.
I actually kind of disliked Conor McGregor.
He's back on my shit list, but this documentary was so good for like, if you want to learn like how deep your mindset can go and what it looks like for a true athlete, like to live and breathe it. Like this is like the new thing that everyone's kind of figuring out with athletes right now, is there's like a certain mindset that wasn't really talked about that these people have. I think now more than ever it matters. Like with Wembanyama, like not only is he a generational athlete and a freak of nature, but that mental is also there. And that's where it makes you dangerous.
This is the same thing as LeBron James a little bit as well. Same thing with Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Tiger Woods.
Derek Jeter.
You know, like they have that weird like kick or like twitch to them a little bit. And like, you know, it kind of pushes them into another gear and gets them to totally be immersed in what they're trying to accomplish. But not just for the 4 to 6 hours a day when you're actually training and rehabbing, but doing it like around the clock.
24 hours.
Round the clock.
Right. Like,
and it's like when I need to be going to sleep, what I need to be doing to recover, what I need to be putting in my body. You know, it's like, you know,
really
mentally,
hyper.
like mental reps, like it's just all the time and it never stops.
And he's like, you know, and you see images of him like after he fractures his ankle and blows his leg out. You see it before, and just his mindset was always on this place of I'm this special talent and just working extremely difficult and to get there. And then you see his growth because after his Khabib fight, he went through a very dark place before it. He said he wasn't fighting from a place of like wanting and passion. It was like anger and hate, which he doesn't fight well, I guess he said, from that position.
Yeah, like, you know, it's just like seeing the color red all the time for like
he would have never beaten Khabib
for like a bull.
Yeah,
I understand. There's for sure there's debates and like I don't know if he would have ever beat him. Like
maybe in his prime when he got lucky with the left.
Maybe, but like
no one's stopping him.
I would have to agree with you, but it was I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that he was trying to get back to the mindset of like enjoyment. And if you're seeing something in the wrong state of mind, you're going to think about it very reactively or irrationally. And for him to take a big loss like that to Khabib and then reframe how the way he thought and realize that I did all of that wrong, even though I'm the 2-time world champion in 2 weight classes, I'm going to like reframe the way I think and like come back, learn from it, get better. It's a sense of humbleness that he also like had.
Yeah.
But also a way to be like, obviously I got kicked the shit out of. Like I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah, he's like, obviously we lost. I'm missing something. And he goes back and he's watching his video of how he lost his, which is different that he claims. His workout regimen gets back to like fully training and like he's not going to beat me with leg kicks. So all he does is train his legs. It was interesting because also like you see like the doctor kind of let him down with the deep ankle bruise, the bone bruise.
Yeah.
You kind of see the doctor, which is intimidating to have all those people in there, the room with him, like kind of intimidating to see him go through that. Like the doctor, because everyone's like, is he gonna be okay? Reality, the doctor's probably like, no, he shouldn't fight. He should probably sit down. But yes, there's like, that's not an answer.
Right, and he had to find a way in order to deliver the bad news, but provide a workaround of what he can do still.
Right. He's like, yeah, wrap your ankle. He's like, well, how heavy do I need to wrap it? Just like wrap it, like a cast.
Yeah. Like, and he's still, like, basically don't try to like even move this thing, basically.
Right. He's like, you're on it when you're fighting. I would not do full contact. Mm-hmm. And then you're off of it when you're not fighting. Mm-hmm. And Karn's like, great. And that's like how you're like, oh, that's how you have a break your, fracture something is from, doing it like too many times. And I thought about my ankle. I'm like, I have a bone bruise. I could easily like snap this thing in half right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, it was just his mindset about how like he's married to the same girl. He seems like a good dad to his kids.
Seems like a very much a family driven kind of man. So in that regard, and you bring up the fact where I was after the Khabib fight as well, and it was like I'm forgetting all like the minute details, but he like threw like a chair at the bus.
And, it was up to the first one. He just kind of like went to a dark place, and
right. And so he had to pay and service those community service hours at a church,
right?
And of course, again, a little bit biased, I'm sure, in the favor of Conor McGregor, but he actually did extra community service at that church. Like he overfulfilled his hours.
Because he loved it so much.
Because he loved it so much. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to go back and get back to this church. And like, of course, in the Conor McGregor in this documentary fashion, learns from it. Right. He like finds his value, finds his core again, and
starts rebuilding himself, essentially.
Right. And he like, I don't know if he's ever been, I don't think he's been faithful to that woman of his, but at least he's married to her. Maybe they have some sort of agreement. Who knows?
Who knows?
But he seems like a great dad. And that's something, you want to strive for. You want to strive for, like, he seems at home very comfortable. Mm-hmm. Like, he feels like, I would love that comfortability. Like that. Like, he, like, looks when he's at home that, like, he doesn't have to be anywhere or go and do anything. And, made his money. His wife's set. His family's set. His kids are set. It's like a mindset I would love to get to. And I think I was like, man, my goal is always to be like, that rich. Like I've always wanted to be, off. I've always wanted to be very well off,
I think that's a very like almost an interesting thing because there's a couple different ways to think about it. Cause I want to segue into the next little like, documentary that we watched as well. Is that you say that it's a sense of comfort that he may like provide because he's like such a good family man, well off. He's always striving to also reflect on gratitude, but also look forward to how can I achieve more of that because it's all earned,
right?
And take care of his family,
and his friends,
and yes, exactly, all the people that he cares about, and then give back, and that's what gives him worth. And so I think that's very interesting to think about. I wanted to maybe take a flip on the other side of the fence here because we watched a documentary of Tiger Woods and how he was essentially raised in a military house, with a very, very strict regiment and not the most well off. And obviously people are being very racist to Tiger Woods and his family and being interracial as well. Being in a very, very tough household where the father, Earl, put a ton of pressure on Tiger Woods, saying that he's only allowed to practice golf. That's it.
These are the claims that are made. Now, this is a Tiger documentary, not made by Tiger Woods.
Exactly. And so again, I think it's very, very, I think it's very good to highlight that because this is just what they're saying right in the documentary from their field of view, but very, very harsh environment when he's growing up, can only play golf, could go to school, live, breathe golf, and it's just like grinding constantly, and that's all he's doing.
Right.
And
Earl pushed him a lot.
And he also set this like crazy, crazy floor, not even ceiling, but as well, but crazy floor, saying like if this guy is not a generational talent, going to be bigger than Michael Jordan.
Right.
And he could be like a Gandhi, literally word for word. He could be like a Gandhi or like an MLK to the world in the sports world, because he's interracial, and my son has the discipline to accomplish that. So it's very different the way how maybe Conor McGregor has a way of like, you know, providing for his family.
Right.
This is something completely opposite that Earl is doing to Tiger Woods and his family as well.
Yeah, I feel like it's tough, right? Clearly, Tiger at a young age was different.
Oh, yeah.
I think every guy who has ever played sports can, and hopefully you're probably biased, but if you could take off the glasses of a parent and look at your kid and really be honest, does my son have it? Like, I'm sure my dad saw me running around and was like, this kid's going to have to play football. You know what I mean? Like, I can't jump, but like he has natural strength. He's going to be a bigger body, yada, yada, yada. I'm sure Earl was like a Green Beret or something like that.
Yeah. He was on the C4 like squad.
I'm sure he doesn't see things from rose-colored glasses. I'm sure he saw Tiger for exactly what and who Tiger was.
Agreed.
And I think that's why, and he was able to harness what his child had. And even though he raised the floor and made it extremely difficult, I feel like it all came from a place of love and kindness and like caring for this kid of his. And maybe he knew he had something and just believed enough that it was actually a thing.
Sure.
Because I've seen the delusional parents.
Sure.
I've had, like, the worst I've ever seen was at Laguna Hills High School with this one basketball player named Red or something. And his dad was like,
just hypothetically speaking, but like,
yeah, like all about it. And it's just,
there's a couple, but yeah, you can, I think you all need to, like, there is a situation of like, okay, let's step back. You know, can my son get a Division I college scholarship? Like, you know, at some point you got to like, you know, pull back those glasses and see like, can I see it at face value? But so
yeah, and I think Tiger's dad did that, and I personally, like, we were arguing like what he did, was that correct or not? Like, was that a good thing, or did he hurt Tiger going down the line? Tiger obviously has issues. He's very like weird. Like, I love Tiger. I love watching him, but like him interact with other people, he seems, at least for the camera, like very, very strange to me at times.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you see him.
Almost like almost awkward, kind of. Yeah, at times, like awkwardly competitive and joking, but I don't know, constantly trying to like outsmart someone. I don't know. It's something it doesn't feel quite right, and very like you go, like we were talking about Ricky Fowler this past week, and you're like, okay, that's just a good stand-up dude, really friendly.
Right. You wouldn't say like Tiger's like super friendly.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say Tiger's like super, I mean, at least from what we've seen. Justice Thomas can't get enough of them.
Sure.
Like they're like big brother, little brother. So I guess to me, I don't have a problem what, you know, Tiger's dad did.
I don't think there's you were kind of asking the question, is there like, was it too much? You know, like, was it too much to push him and raise the floor that much? Maybe someone could see it that way. Maybe because he wasn't really, quote unquote, able to have a normal childhood. But I mean, maybe you don't need to have a normal childhood to achieve something so great in your lifetime, you know? Different, like just sometimes different achieves greater, you know?
Like I get couldn't be goofy with his high school girlfriend all the time. Like, I think he's okay. If I could trade in not being goofy with my high school girlfriend to be a Masters winner multiple times over, I would trade that for my high school girlfriend, no problem.
I agree.
Like, and he went and played golf at Stanford.
And he later also like found that crazy concentration later in his career. So maybe he had that, like, maybe he wanted to have a little fun when he was like 16, 17, 20 years old. But like when he was 21, 22 and winning Masters championships and constantly winning on the PGA Tour, that man was so focused.
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell he just locks into a different level of person. I inherently like, let's just put it like this. My kid comes out and he or she is amazing at batoning, and I could see that they have a career in batoning. Like, I bring them to classes, They flip the thing higher than anybody else. The teachers are coming up and asking me, and maybe I could find out like there's some career path in it. I would like push my kid.
Of course.
I would be like, you should do this. This is what you should be doing. Like, at some point, if they were still into it, like, now, if my kid came up to me every day crying and hated every minute of it,
of course,
I am sure I would stop.
It wouldn't take long.
No. It would be like, whatever, like, if you don't want to do
Let's
it. Let's
finish off the season or whatever. Let's finish off the couple tournaments.
Like, I don't think Tiger was dying from playing golf that he came to his dad.
I don't think so.
Please make it stop. Like,
it certainly looked like his identity at some points,
Right. Like, Tiger loved it. So...
And the constant amount of junior tournaments and blah, blah, blah. Like, he obviously wouldn't be doing it if he didn't love it at that point. So, and, there's a reason why he's still playing today at the age of 47 with, 8 surgeries and a fused back and broken legs. Like, he's still hitting golf balls. Like, he obviously has some sort of enjoyment towards it still.
He also started up the Tiger Woods Golf League as well.
Yeah, really cool.
Is it Tiger Woods Golf League?
TGO.
Yeah. Which is an indoor golf league. It's going to be played all across the United States. And a massive, I hear, like, movie screen sized.
Like theater almost, or like arena.
Simulator that they hit into. Then the ball lands on like a middle of an arena. You could see like a fake ball roll, and then it lands on like whatever surface you're playing on. You hit off that fake AstroTurf into like a whole area. Like they're playing golf, and it's just like he's gonna go do that. I'm sure he got his ankle fused for that league. He's gonna have to do it. And if you listen to anyone out there too, Tiger hits the ball better or equal to every other tour player out there.
Yeah.
When he's on the range, everyone's like, it's Tiger.
Right. He's ball striking the hell out of the golf ball and everyone else.
Like when he's picking it clean and Sky is like, why do you do that? He's like, I don't know. I just do it.
Yeah. I just pick it clean, dude. I just hit the ball pure.
And he's like, okay, whatever, weirdo. But yeah, man, it's interesting how these docs and these things, I love sports docs. It's like my new favorite thing to do. When Wifey passes out, I'll go throw. I just watched the new Anaheim Ducks one that came out.
Dude, you got to tell me more about it. I just actually heard about it today in the office. It sounds great.
It's unreal. We can watch, part of it later.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Is it on Netflix?
No, it's on ESPN.
Because I was going to say, I have a real bone to pick with Netflix.
Yeah, why?
I don't have the login anymore. You got to be in the same household as the account holder.
No.
Like it tracks like your zip code or some shit like that. I don't know how it does it.
Whose account was it?
Well, it's the in-laws.
Oh, they just got to pay more for it and then you guys get it.
Okay, maybe we just split the difference,
Yeah, just throw the extra $3, I think it is.
It's whatever. But like I think
I agree.
That would be worth it. But like, come on. What are we doing here? Like, can we just have like 3 counts? Like, let's just share.
The system's been working. Why are we breaking it up?
Exactly.
Like, you guys don't have enough money over there.
Apparently, they need to make more. I'm gonna take a little shot at Netflix with more like shitty like original releases, dude.
Yeah.
Are we even watching those?
No, I haven't watched them in forever. A little shot at Netflix. I love it. Take a shot at the big dog, huh?
Sorry.
I don't know sometimes.
Damn, dude. We're just out here trying to watch a couple, sports docs and hang out.
Right.
You got to be like, putting all these like terrible originals and charging more money for an already rich corporation. I don't know.
So
I'm just a little guy. I'm just a little guy talking.
Well, since we're on this movie and topic, it's a good time to bring up our 3 worst for the day.
Yeah,
we got 3 worst movie snacks. You go ahead, buddy. Lead us off here.
Yeah, you took us away on Monday. I'll take us away here on a late Wednesday night.
Love it.
It's movie season. Everyone's looking forward to it. There's lots of big blockbusters coming up, so we thought this would be a good one for us. And there's no better snack and bite. And actually, to further like clarify the movie snacks, it's what you would most likely find like at a theater.
3 worst movie snacks.
Exactly. Not just like snacking while watching a movie at home.
Right.
It's
a movie theater.
Exactly. And so this is where I'm going to for my number 3. I don't think it really needs to be overthought that much because if you're doing this kind of snack at the movie theater, and I've seen it once, and you're probably not doing it very well, and that's pizza for me.
Great.
It's trying too. It's I don't want to get a full meal at the movie. Like, and I get like a slice can be like a good snack, just like a hot dog.
Right.
I just don't love okay to not so great pizza.
Yeah, you gotta have some. Yeah, because the cheese is gonna blow you up.
Yeah, that, and I just don't think the crust is a lot for me.
Right.
And I've had really good crust before, and it's hard to go back. Right. And I've also had good marinara, like pizza sauce, and it's hard to go back from that as well.
I don't blame you.
So it's not terrible, but it's something I'm never going to.
Great.
Number 2 for me, and this is kind of just an all-arounder in any event that I'm really, really going to, but this especially like sticks out in the movie theaters, and that's just, the fake cheese nachos.
Yeah, the nachos out there.
What are we doing? I guess I'm really not trying to go a ton of savory at the movie theater. It's kind of like just let me get some sour candy and like let's go something like that. So, yeah, that's my number 2, and then my number 1 here. It is a sweet, but my God, it is the worst there is out there because there is about at least 50 better options than this thing, and it's the Dot.
Yeah, dots are just trash.
Awful.
Trash.
I used to like them when I was like 4 years old because I could just chew them like a little
kid.
Yeah, they're just like a little hamster, right? just go at that thing, right?
Yeah.
But now I'm worried about like cracking and chipping my tooth and yanking a tooth out, and my teeth are all jacked up. But like now they just don't even have any flavor. Never going anywhere near them.
Yeah, dots are not good.
They should be totally go.
I would judge somebody if they came up with like, I got dots for candy. I'm like, you can keep those to yourself.
Just do it yourself, bro.
That's your candy. You have your candy now.
Actually, yeah, let me have some straight in the bin.
Yeah, throw it right in the trash. It's a great list, bud. We have one similar thing here. Number 3 for me is just something it's just too much now for me, probably sugar wise. Because I'm more going to get candy, going to already have some other stuff. So
don't you dare.
It's the Coke slushie.
Oh, no. I thought you were going to go to like the blueberry, cherry
blueberry,
slush.
Raspberry, Coke slushies are just too much in a movie theater.
I'm dead.
It's just way too much for me.
That is a bad take, my friend.
I don't think so.
That's a bad take.
I think it's just too much sugar because I'm already going to have candy. Like, just give me a normal Coke.
Yeah, okay, but have you ever go like... You're going to go regular. That's the same thing, dude.
I guess no, because it's
kind of the same thing.
I'm sure they put more sugar in the slushie.
A little bit more, but
I'm sure they put a lot more sugar in the slushie.
I'm going to disagree. It's a bad take. Have you ever gone like slushie and popcorn?
Yeah.
Goated. You're going to rip that thing away?
I mean, like it's hard for me because I like so many movie snacks. So I had to pick something.
Okay.
Like if you're going to give me a Coke slushie, I'm not going to say no to it. But I don't ever really pick a Coke slushie.
Okay.
Number 2 for me is nachos.
Okay, good. Yeah.
The fake cheese.
Well deserved.
I'm with you. Like there's only fake cheese on it and they're just trash. Like you heat them up in the microwave.
They're kind of like the styrofoamy, weird, crispy chip. I don't know. Doesn't work.
And number 1 for me is White Caps.
Oh, that's such a good pick, dude.
Yeah.
That's a tough place to put it because that's such a legendary and iconic movie snack.
Yeah.
But boy, does that not really hit.
At all.
What are they?
I don't know. It's like that and Milk Duds can go right into the trash for me.
I love Milk Duds.
Milk Duds are trash.
Back.
Milk Duds are
right back in your corner.
No, I won't. And I'll stick by that one. Milk Duds are trash. It's just like dots.
They're not great.
They're not great.
Yeah, I would much rather go to like, Twix if you're going to go for the chocolate and caramel. Yeah.
Give me is there a better chocolate candy than the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup?
I don't think that anyone's going to argue with you one bit. And also, actually, have you tried the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Thins?
I have not yet.
Oh, mama. Those are special.
Game changer.
Because one would say that sometimes I love peanut butter, but maybe it's a little bit too much peanut butter at times.
I could see that.
And so you kind of go back and forth from thins to like regular, and you get better, like that better chocolate ratio going on. And they're also a little bit thinner, so they got some crisp to them as well. They're pretty special.
Damn.
And yeah, I don't think there's anything better than a Reese's.
I agree.
If you're going M&M to Reese's Pieces, are you going Reese's Pieces all day long?
Plain M&M?
Yep, plain M&M. You got
not peanut M&M?
Not peanut. Face
peanut
value.
Butter M&M?
Nope. You got to go straight up.
Then I take Reese's Pieces all day.
Okay. Well, obviously, should we just do our top 2 favorite snacks right now? Because we're just ripping off.
Top 3 favorite movie snacks.
Yeah, just right now off the rip because...
Yeah. Number 3 for me is going to be Sour Patch Kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to move that to number 2. Since we're going off the rip, Sour Patch Kids number 2. Yep. You know what? Number 1. Sour Patch Kids for me is number 1.
It's goated.
Number 1, Sour Patch Kids.
It's really hard. Let's do like a draft, right? Like you go 1.
Okay.
And
my first round pick would be Sour Patch Kids.
Okay. Throw it on over to me right here.
Andrew, first round pick.
Yeah, because then we'll go like off the board type situation. I love this. It's going to be right off the top of the
Sour
hat.
Patch Kids to me.
I'm going to take the Nerds Rope clusters.
Okay, is that a movie candy?
Yeah,
Have you seen it in the movie theater?
Nerds Rope in
then
the
you
theater.
Win. Then you got a great first round pick on you.
That it's goated.
The Nerds candies
really
undefeated.
You know what? Maybe it's not sold over the counter, but good old Susan would always bring those things in. Always.
Well, you can't. It's got to be sold over the counter.
Mike and Ike Sours.
Okay. They usually have some sort of sour candy like that now.
Some sort of sour like that. Or sour Skittles. I can go there.
Too.
I can go. I got to go sour. I got to combat your sour with a sour.
Okay, so which one? Sour Skittles?
Let's go sour Skittles because I've seen those. That's a staple. I've seen them there constantly.
Number 2 for me, Thin Mints.
That's a good one. That's just a really high pick for the Thin Mint. But, you know, the guy brings a certain freshness to the game.
Yeah.
And it's hard denying that guy.
I love him.
Yeah. It's really nice. Okay. I feel like I got to get something like another sweet, dude, because, again, I'm there for, like, the sweet treat. And is there anything better than a good old-fashioned Swedish fish for me?
I mean, that's right up the middle for you.
I know maybe it's not big for you, but I can crush Swedish fish, and I've seen those constantly over there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame it. I like the pick. Swedish fish are my go-to candy. This should have been on the board, maybe 1 or number 2, but give me popcorn. Yeah.
I mean, it's forever goated. I was just wanted to think
be a little different.
Yeah, I just like the sweets. Yeah, dude, I love the cherry Coke and the cherry Coke slushie. Give me that in the 3.
Yeah,
they just
I haven't been to the movies in forever.
It's just a match made, dude. Those 2.
I need to go to the movies again.
Have you checked out the new way of doing the whole 270-degree screen, the Screen X? Have you seen one of those? It's cool because I'm not really a big 3D guy, but I recently went to the movies and I saw. Oh my God, dude, we are just the worst. Yes, thank you. Top Gun Maverick in Screen X, and we saw Avatar 2 in Screen X. It's kind of a game changer, I will have to say.
Okay, maybe something to check out. Do I have to wear glasses the whole time?
No glasses. That's the best part. That's my whole argument against 3D.
Right.
I don't like wearing the glasses. It sometimes messes with my vision. There's no glasses, no nothing. There's just projectors and an extension of the actual screen of the movie during action scenes. When it's dialogue and face-to-face, no Screen X, no extra peripheral. Only when there's action scenes where there's movement. So you actually feel like you're kind of like in the scene a little bit more. Like,
I gotta go to the movies.
In Avatar, we like anytime there was the ocean, you were like immersed in the ocean. It was really cool. It's one of those things where it's kind of a special experience when you go over there.
I have to go try it
like
the next big action-packed movie.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool.
All right, bud. In the books, episode 21. Late night episode. Appreciate everyone sticking with us. The golf updates and all that stuff will be back. You got anything for the people?
I just can't wait to hear about your rounds coming up this weekend, right? And But yeah, just looking forward to hear what's going on in the Oregon life, dude.
Yeah, buddy. I'll give you all the updates. Shout out to Devin. Thank you for being an editor for us, Madison. Always there for the media, and Jake for
Fire
thumbnails.
Social media is popping. Thumbnails are looking real clean.
Real crispy. Couldn't do it without you guys. We're going to be here for a while. We're in the Cabbage. And just a reminder, keep swinging.